Greetings, people of the internet. My name is Big Mo, and it is my honor to welcome you to the hardest hitting, full of ranting, most entertaining show in the world. This is the Dave Van Auken Show!
What's up, guys? All right, today's video you just saw, it is about a fight that just needs to happen, and there's not a better way to say it. That just makes sense. It just makes too much sense. There's guys in this industry, high level fighters, sometimes low level, but most of the time the highest of levels, guys like Khamzat Chimaev. How about guys like Tom Aspinall? There's a lot of really great mixed martial artists, even a guy like Kamaru Usman. And it's just hard to match up. Who's their next fight? When is it going to be? Sometimes it could be visa issues. Sometimes it could just be age. Sometimes it could be because of politics and championship stuff of that nature. Sometimes it's hard to make the next fight. All MMA outlets and figureheads talk about it on making Monday, so on and so on. That's like the fun of us, is to guess always what's next. But a couple weeks ago at UFC 310, we saw that Renato Moicano stepped up. We all know the story. Short notice, fought Islam Makhachev, lost first round. We know the story. And one of the big videos that came out from that event was, of course, the 22-3, the 6-0 UFC fighter, the 30-year-old Paddy Pimblett, on his socials, his YouTube channel, stuff of that nature. He does like watch-alongs. And he was very, let's just say, disrespectful, loud. He was very forthcoming on Moicano's lack of competition against Makhachev, or especially that he tapped, or how quickly he tapped, so on and so on and so on. And the main part I want to get into it of why this fight needs to happen. It makes sense. Spring, early summer. I even think spring. I think Moicano is fine to go in April, May. Is that if this fight doesn't happen, I'm afraid that the UFC will start to get into a little bit of that boxing era, where boxing had sometimes the greatest fighters on the planet, great rivalries. You would see them at these big mega events, and then they would never fight each other. And, we don't know what's happening right now with John Jones and Tom Aspinall. That's kind of like the fight everyone, of course, wants to see and needs to happen in 2025. Even Dana White has said, like, yeah, this fight needs to happen. Sometimes there's just title challengers, and there's just been this weight and this length. And I could just feel it from covering the sport for 5 years. We're in a weird little, we feel as the fans, the public is like, guys, there's fights that we want. And, we don't know what's happening with the UFC and where they're going to next. If it's going to be Netflix and big deals, and when is Conor McGregor fighting? What's happening with Michael Chandler? There's a lot of noise lately, I feel like, especially on the matchmaking side. And with Renato Moicano and Paddy the Baddy, think about it like this. Paddy Pimblett, 6-0 in the UFC. To me, he's had two main rivals. Like, if you say, who is Paddy Pimblett's rivals? Ilia Topuria and Renato Moicano. That's his rivals. His last 3 wins: Bobby Green, Tony Ferguson, Jared Gordon. Good wins, but the fight poster was cool when we saw Bobby Green and Paddy, but they didn't have beef going into it. The Ferguson, remember, they were kind of actually respectful to each other until the week of. We need to see Paddy not. I sometimes I just like saying this, but a little bit of the Conor McGregor thing of, he's such a big star. Sometimes the biggest stars need rivals. Conor needed Jose Aldo. Conor needed Khabib Nurmagomedov. Conor McGregor needs Dustin the Diamond Poirier. And Renato Moicano is a perfect rival. He's so good on the mic. He's so good at shows and media and stuff of that nature. Great fighter, by the way, guys. Moicano, 20-6, 35 years young, 12-6 in the UFC. Go check out his losses. His losses are the best losses you can have in the UFC. I know he just lost to Islam, but he's coming off of 3 wins before that. Benoit St. Denis, Jalen Turner, and Drew Dober. So this fight makes so much sense in so many ways. There's a lot of ATT blood in that lightweight division, so I know Moicano wants to stay away from those guys. So there's only 4 guys that he could really, I think, 7 through 15 that he could fight. Pimblett's one of them. They can both talk. They want to fight. They're rivals. It makes sense. Like, again, that's the title. This is the headline of this. I'm going to put the picture up back right now. This fight just makes too much sense for it not to happen. We need to see Paddy Pimblett and Money Moicano in the spring of 2025. It just makes too much sense. Let me know what you guys think. Hit up on the comments. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, do all the